You thick as hell!
So yesterday, I took my first computer science test, and I think I might have failed it. It's basically worth 16% of my grade, and for about an hour, I felt horrible. It's one thing to do poorly on a test, but an entirely different demon when you feel like others did better than you. I'm not too alarmed if everybody fails, but if I feel lesser than my peers, then I see that that's the real issue. But I only felt that way for an hour. Then I moved on, not because I was ready to, but because I had to. I had another test next week, and I couldn't afford to spend my time groveling over the past when I had bigger fish to fry soon. I didn't need to feel sorry for myself. I needed to be better. Was I thinking the right way? Why does it have to be like this? Every year, people are working harder and harder, and are getting paid less and less, because everybody has to work hard now. We're at each other's throats in competition, and we get caught up in the race. There hasn't been a day in my life that I didn't compare myself to somebody else, for intelligence, for looks, for anything I admire about them. I remember hating when college decisions came out. Everybody was either a winner or a loser of the competitive system. Those who got into their colleges of choice, and those who had to compromise. I've been on both sides of the spectrum throughout my life, but I found myself losing this time. People would talk about how excited they were to start the next chapter of their life at college, and how they were ready to just leave high school in their past. I always responded saying that I liked high school, at least my senior year, and I wished it never ended. They knew I didn't get into my college of choice. I worked a job 5 days a week as a server and had way more cash than any high schooler should have. I was surrounded by people I loved, and with my car, I felt like an adult, able to do anything, anytime. It might sound a little bit lame, but few things felt as powerful to me as myself, with extra money and a car. I was trying to savor my senior year, but when I looked around, everyone else was seemingly waiting for its final days. I've seen with my own eyes that competitiveness drives people to live faster than ever. Everybody wants to be well-rounded. Everybody wants to be successful. But also, everybody seems spread thin nowadays between their extracurriculars, class, family, friends, individual happiness. It's impossible to be in touch with all these things. However, I still strive for this perfect balance every day, and it's a never-ending struggle. Right when you accomplish a personal goal by putting out a YouTube video that you can be proud of on Wednesday, the balance shifts and you get a wake-up call from your computer science exam 2 days later. Right when you spend some time with your family on Saturday, the balance shifts and you miss out on your club event scheduled at the same time. Competitive culture makes us incredibly efficient, emotionally detached people, and it's really easy to get lonely. And speaking of lonely, we are actually the loneliest society in human history. I'm going to paraphrase a TED Talk by Johann Hari about why people are depressed now more than ever. You should go check it out. So, a recent study asked Americans, do you feel like you're no longer close to anyone? And 39% said yes. Pretty big number. This is largely due to the fact that we are tribal animals and we survived on the earth not because we could take on a lion in a 1v1, but rather because we could band together to solve problems. There's proof that the more you try to buy or show your way out of depression, the more depressed you are likely to become. We've become programmed like this since we were growing up. With the rise of Instagram and Facebook, showing how cool you were, how happy you were was the culture. People rarely go on their Instas or Facebook to talk about how depressed they are, right? We all know that when we die, we won't care about what college we went to or how many Instagram followers we had, but rather the connections we shared with other people. You and I both know that's true, but as I say it, it sounds pretty cliche. But that's the issue. We dismiss the truth because of its tackiness. But why? Johann Hari states that, quote, "We live in a machine that is designed to get us to neglect what is important about life." To me, that machine is the competitive culture that we're all swamped in today. So I took a look back at my first semester in college, and it all went by too fast. Trapped by too many deadlines and commitments, it's hard to spell out what every day felt like. I often reminisce about the days when I was younger, and when arguments about football at recess were the most drama I would go through in a day. But then again, I know one day I'll reminisce about the days I'm living now. So I recalled how I approached my senior year in high school. Being a loser of the system, wanting to stay where I was situated, and it was actually a blessing in disguise. Maybe there are no winners or losers of the system, just those who win more and those who win less. But winning is also relative. No matter how much I value something, I can't make you value it. Like, if you really love milk tea and you spill your cup all over the table, that's a loss. But if you really hate milk tea, and this were to happen, maybe you're indifferent. Maybe you even won in a way. I remember the details of my senior year. The bass of my car thumping as I drove down Braeswood every day, the warm faces of my friends at lunch, and my family waiting at home for me every night. There's this Netflix series called End of the Effing World that said it best. Quote, "It's strange. A lot of the time, you don't register the important moments in your life as they happen. You only see that they were important once you look back." I think it's easy to over-idealize the future. Look, I thought college would be a lot of fun, and it is, but with it comes a lot of stress. And now, I'm just looking forward to spring break, but maybe that will prevent me from living out this week. So, this is my dedication to living in the present. Not setting my eyes on the demons of the future or looking at the rear view to regret my past. This is the everyday self-betterment. Life is happening every day, but are you living it? Just because you're alive doesn't mean you're living. Take that deep breath of air, maybe look around, and maybe appreciate it. Sitting here, reading this script, there's a lot of other fulfilling things I could be doing. Maybe I should start my computer science homework. Maybe I should start my math homework. Maybe I should go hang out with my roommates. I don't know. Maybe I should end off here then. Ending on a quote from the Spectacular Now that said it best. Quote, "This right here, this is beautiful. This is the youngest that we're ever going to be. This is our time. Live in the now. Cheers." So slow down. Don't get caught up in the race. Lightning McQueen taught me that. And you're never getting younger, so take it all in.
Life's too short to worry about things that we got wrong. So